Deep in an old wooden village, there is a story mothers still whisper to their daughters before bed. Not to frighten them, to warn them. It is the story of a girl who was given an impossible task: fetch fire from the witch who eats children who fail her. And what she carried into that forest was smaller than a fist, and it saved her life. This is the story of Vasilisa the Brave. Welcome back to Firelight Tales, where we bring you the folk tales that shaped how people understood good, evil, and everything in between. Every story we tell carries a lesson, some gentle, some brutal. Stay till the end, because this one still applies to your life today, whether you believe in witches or not. In a small village at the edge of a great forest, there lived a merchant and his only daughter, Vasilisa. Her mother had died when she was young, but before she passed, she gave Vasilisa one final gift: a small wooden doll, no bigger than a hand, wrapped in cloth. "Keep her with you always," her mother had whispered. "Feed her a little, tell her your troubles, and she will help you when nothing else can." Vasilisa never let the doll leave her side. Years passed. Her father remarried a widow with 2 daughters of her own, and like so many stories of this kind, the new stepmother despised Vasilisa. Not for anything she did, but simply for what she was: kind, beautiful, beloved by everyone who met her. Her stepsisters mocked her. Her stepmother worked her like a servant, giving her the hardest chores, the smallest meals, the coldest corner by the fire. But every night in secret, Vasilisa fed her doll a few crumbs of bread and whispered her worries into its painted little face. And every morning she found her chores already finished: the floors swept, the fire lit, the linens folded. The doll was helping her, quietly, faithfully, asking for nothing but a little food and a little trust. For years this was enough. Vasilisa survived on kindness she gave, and kindness that was secretly returned. Until the night her father left on a long trading journey, and her stepmother saw her chance. The stepmother waited until dark had fully swallowed the house. Then she blew out every candle, every lamp, every flame in every room, except one, deep in the forest, that never went out. "The fire's gone," she announced coldly. "Someone must fetch a light." She sent her own daughters first, pretending to volunteer them. Both refused, terrified, claiming they couldn't see the road. Then, as if the plan had been set from the beginning, she turned to Vasilisa. "You will go," she said. "There is one house in the forest that always has fire. Ask the woman who lives there." Vasilisa knew exactly which house she meant. Everyone in the village knew. It was surrounded by a fence made of human bones, topped with skulls whose eyes glowed at night. It stood on legs, chicken legs, and it turned by itself, facing whoever approached. The woman who lived inside was Baba Yaga, the witch who ate those who displeased her. Vasilisa's stepmother knew this too. She wasn't sending Vasilisa for fire. She was sending her to die. With nothing but her small wooden doll tucked into her apron, Vasilisa stepped into the forest. If you're already feeling for her, hit like right now. It genuinely helps this story reach more people who need to hear it. Okay, deep breath. Let's go into that forest with her. The forest grew darker with every step. Trees twisted overhead, blotting out the moon. Twice a horseman passed her on the path, one dressed all in white, riding a white horse, and dawn broke the moment he passed. Later, one in blood red on a red horse, and the sun rose fully red across the sky. Vasilisa did not know what she had seen. She only knew to keep walking. By the time she reached the hut, night had fallen completely, and a third horseman passed her, dressed all in black. The moment he vanished, every skull on the bone fence lit up at once, flooding the clearing in ghost light. The hut turned to face her on its great chicken legs, and the door creaked open before she even knocked. Baba Yaga sat inside, old beyond age, iron teeth, a nose that nearly touched her chin, riding not a broom but a great stone mortar, steering herself with a pestle, sweeping her tracks away with a broom of silver birch. "Why have you come?" the witch asked, though everyone says she already knew. "My stepmother sent me for fire," Vasilisa answered, voice steady despite her fear. Baba Yaga smiled with all her iron teeth. "Stay with me then, work for me, and if you serve me well, I will give you fire. If you don't—" She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. The next morning, Baba Yaga gave Vasilisa 3 impossible tasks. Clean the entire house and yard until spotless, cook enough food for 10, and separate an enormous pile of mixed grain, good wheat from rotten, poppy seed from dirt, grain by grain before nightfall. Any task left unfinished, and Vasilisa would be eaten. The witch left for the day. Alone, exhausted, staring at a mountain of grain that would take 100 hands 100 days to sort, Vasilisa finally broke. She sat down and wept, and reached out of old habit for the one thing that had never failed her. She fed her doll the last crumb of bread she had, and she whispered everything. "Sleep, Vasilisa," the doll said softly, its painted lips somehow moving. "Morning is wiser than evening. I will handle this." And it did. While Vasilisa slept, the doll swept the yard clean, scrubbed every floor, cooked a full meal, and sorted every single grain of wheat from every single piece of dirt, through the night, without rest, without complaint. Baba Yaga returned to find everything done, perfectly. She circled the hut twice, searching for a single flaw, and found none. She was furious and impressed. "You have helpers," the witch muttered, narrowing her eyes. "Answer me this then. Who are those 3 horsemen you passed on your way here?" Vasilisa answered carefully. "The white rider is day, the red rider is the rising sun. I dare not speak of the black one." Baba Yaga nodded slowly. "Wise girl, that is night. You do well not to ask about what lies outside these walls, only about what lies within them. Curiosity beyond your business will get you eaten faster than any task. If you want to see whether the doll's kindness is enough to save Vasilisa, make sure you're subscribed, because this next part is where the whole story turns. Baba Yaga demanded to know how Vasilisa managed such perfect work. Vasilisa, unwilling to lie but careful with her words, answered only, "My mother's blessing helps me." The witch's face twisted with rage. "Blessing? I want nothing to do with blessings in my house. Get out, now." She thrust a skull with burning, glowing eyes into Vasilisa's hands. "Take your fire and get off my land." Vasilisa ran from the hut, skull lantern lighting her path, through the dark trees, all the way home, grateful simply to be alive. But when she reached the house, something had changed. All week, while she'd been gone, her stepmother had once again let every fire in the house go dark. Certain Vasilisa would never return with a light. Certain, in fact, that she'd never return at all. Vasilisa stepped through the door, skull lantern held high, and its burning eyes turned directly toward her stepmother and stepsisters. The glow burned into them, searing, unrelenting, until, by morning, nothing remained of the stepmother and her daughters but ash. Vasilisa buried the skull deep in the earth outside the house, so its fire could never harm anyone again. And from that day on, she lived free of cruelty, eventually leaving the village, becoming known for the fine cloth she wove, cloth so beautiful it reached the eyes of the Tsar himself, who took her as his bride. She kept the little wooden doll in her pocket for the rest of her life. Strip away the witch, the skulls, the burning eyes, and what's left is a very simple truth. Vasilisa survived not because she was the strongest, or the cleverest, or the luckiest. She survived because years earlier, when no one was watching, she chose to be kind to something small, feeding a doll a few crumbs of bread each night for no reward at all. That small, consistent kindness came back for her exactly when she needed it most. Meanwhile, cruelty, her stepmother's cruelty, consumed the very people who practiced it. That's the whole lesson this tale has carried for centuries. What you feed quietly, in private, with no one watching, kindness or cruelty, is exactly what grows large enough to save you or destroy you when the real test finally comes. If this story meant something to you, hit subscribe. We bring you a new folktale every Wednesday and Sunday, each one carrying a lesson worth remembering. Drop a comment telling me which culture's folklore you want us to cover next, and I'll see you in the next story.